Stories, goeienaand. Good evening, Skype Stories. Hope you guys are good. Hoop het gaan goed saam met julle. Ek het vanaand 'n paar mense in die studio saam met my. We're going to talk about a brand that is from the Cape Flats with love, and we're going to say more about this brand, this jam, Jacobs Jam. We're also going to give away some prizes tonight, so or a hamper. So you guys are more than welcome. I want you guys to be part of this. We're going to tell you now what to do so you can win this hamper. But we're going to talk to Nigel Jacobs tonight. With us in the studio, we also have Byron, my side chick, as he said. And then we also have San from Colored Girls Rock. She's going to be part of this panel tonight. And we're going to talk about a brand that really, it tastes amazing. But you guys must actually listen to it and ask questions. And you guys can walk away with the hamper. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Hey, good, Stan. How are you doing on that side also?
Good, man. Can't complain. Welcome, San. Welcome, Nigel.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you, Byron. Hi, Shan.
Byron, vertel vir ons, hoe kan die mense die hempe wen?
So I got it from Nigel. If Nigel's in the regte plek waar hulle die jam maak, that's why the signal, we're going to lose him a little bit. Maar hulle is besig met jam, so jy moet verstaan. And they got the right jam on that side. So just like Nigel explained earlier, all you need to do is just like and share the jam page. We're going to put it up in here. So just go and follow them, like and share. And then you can and tag in, as I would say, Cape Flat Stories. Is that right, Nigel?
That's correct. Yes. Thank you, Byron.
Okay, so remember that jy wil jam wen en die lekkerste jam, maar jy gaan vandag kry. So hopefully if you're not listening and you only catch it after the live, I don't know if it's after the live if you miss out or only during the live. What do you say, Nigel? Nigel se ding freeze en hy kan ek sê hulle is besig met jam die hele tyd.
Ja, maar julle moet verstaan, baie koud en seer is, alles freeze hier so.
I think we've still got Shan, so we got Terence also saying congratulations my brother Nigel. We'll definitely be buying a jam. Kyk al, nog eers begin nie en die jam is al uitverkoop al, so julle moet nou al bel al. Nigel, but with jokes aside, just to introduce yourself and who you are and your background on the story on the jam before we get into the discussion of the man who is Nigel and the story behind this. Just give us some insight about Jacobs Jam.
And so my story starts in Lentegeur Mitchells Plain. Primary school, and then I went to high school at Mondale High. And I lived in Lentegeur. So my mother literally had to smuggle me into that school because you have to live in. She made a plan. I was in Mondale. I finished 1999, and then I took a few gap years. I think it was 2 or 3 because I wasn't sure what I wanted to study. And then also there wasn't really funds or finances for me to go and study. Basically, I had to go work to try and help support the household. So while I was working, I started working at I like people, and then I discovered at the school, and then I did at CPUT Belleville campus, and I did a course in marketing. Did the full things, did BTech, and in my 3rd year I was so I studied in Germany, and you know, when I got to Germany, it was a mind opener. Well, you know, my mind was completely blown because I never thought that I could live here. Then in my early 20s, I see myself traveling in Europe like it was all a dream. That is my backstory, I would say. Studied marketing. Worked for big companies like Pioneer Foods, Parmalat, Philip Morris Tobacco in senior marketing capacities and senior management capacities. And then I think it was in 2013, I was approached by a company called Ceres Fruit Processors.
Okay, we just lost Nigel there for a second. I don't know if you still have him on that side, Stanley. We just lost Nigel for a second. So Nigel was just giving us some background on his story about how he's gone and has some klom experience with how it come. It's a lot of experience. And Linda just popped up now and Linda said, "Julle maak my honger. Got what says that? Got no vet koekbak. Bring the jam." I don't know if you're getting that on that side from your side. So I don't know if we have Nigel back, but just to give some background, Stanley, on Nigel. So he said he worked in big companies like Pioneer Food. So I get he was working as a technician also on that side, or on the marketing side also. Are you there, Stan?
I'm still here. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just saying,
Nigel?
just yep. If you could just remind people how they can win jam tonight, even as ons gaan hak, ons gaan jam weggee.
There we go. There's Nigel now. Nigel,
Nigel, Nigel, so
your
we
jam
just
is
gave him a bit of
going.
background.
Okay, Byron, that was.
Ek sê ons gaan mekaar baie verloof vanaand.
Okay, so I got like bits and pieces out of it. It sounds like you Neo from the Matrix because of the internet here in series. But what I can say is that this is the easiest way to win jam. All you need to do is like our page, follow our page. It's Jacobs_jam_co. And we will select the winner within this 1 hour of the interview. Between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. At the end of 10 o'clock, we will then select. Yeah. So all you need to like and follow our page.
Okay, that's right. So if you heard that right, all you need to do is like and follow the page, Stanley. I don't know if you have the link of the page, if you can pop it up also on that side. So all you need to do is like and share our page. Stanley, as ek van jou kan hoor, wat jou memories het jy van jam soos jy opgegroei het?
Kyk, my maat altyd gesê, as jy nie kos, as jy jam in die huis het, dan het jy kos in die huis. That is actually a colored ding. As a jam in die huis is, dan is a kos in die huis. And we were 6 children, so now to feed 6 children, my mother had to make sure there was food every day. And jam and brood was such a ding. It was only a luxury when we had peanut butter. You know, so it's peanut butter in the jam sam. But he had all types of jam. And up till this day, I still love jam. I think it's also healthy. Daar's baie voordele ook wat mense nie van weet nie. But I think also the fact that we have a guy from the Cape Flats, from Lentegeur, making his own jam, that for me just does it. Ek het begin eat van laas week af. I promise you, and I'm not being paid to say this, die jam is gehard, is lekker.
Maar ek weet nie of
Don't be afraid to say it.
Shane, I don't know if you
But
remember.
Jam.
Shane, I don't know if you remember Chokers and Survivors. Is that not what we called it?
Okay, you broke up.
I said from my side, all I know when it came to jam, dink ek net aan Chokers and Survivors. And die jam was my survivor aan die einde van die dag. Het sy die peanut butter geëet het, you must go and eat that jam also.
Yes.
I think for me, my favorite memory of jam growing up is obviously when I think my aunt or somebody used to love baking. And they used to make that, you know, that tart with the pastry, and then you have the jam on the, as I think it's called a Hungarian tart, was definitely not called that when I was growing up, but okay. So yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about jam. It's also why I'm this round, but okay, let's not go there.
I think we're all around because of jam.
Kim Lee said, with tea and sugar, yeah, then you lekker jam gaan lekker af with your tea and sugar. And then she said, Sunday evening, baked bread with jam. And you'll get lots of stories out of jam. You'll get lots of stories how people made that jam. Nigel, we just went into, I don't know if you got this, we just went in this whole frenzy. I don't know, I don't agree with Shan, but ek wil nie geklap word nie. She said, this is why I'm round, is because of jam, but it's so lekker, I'm never going to leave it. And then Stanley was getting in the whole way of, how's it healthy for you? And we got some comments popping up also saying, with sugar and tea at Sunday evening with your baked bread, and you have your liquor jam on that side. Nigel, stories, you must have stories that inspired you to make some jam. Sy gaan nie net 'n ding maak en sy nie lief is vir dit nie. What inspired you to come up and make jam and also put your passion behind it?
So Biden, I think if I look at my corporate career and working for big companies, I was always driven on climbing the ladder, climbing it right to the top. You know, you get to a place, you do well, you get promoted, you move on to a different place, you do better, and you get promoted again. And then somewhere, myself and Kristen, we realized that we can climb this ladder forever. We can climb it until
Mm.
we're 65 and we retire. And then what happens? You know, we've got one son, he's 2 years old, little Hugo. We realize that we can't pass on our good jobs to Hugo. You know, so we did it because of our legacy. We want to pass on a legacy to our son. It's up to myself and Kristen to build this, let's call it foundation. You know, our ceiling is his platform. And our parents couldn't give that to us. We were forced to basically just go work, and that's it. And then the
Mm.
passion around starting our own business is really around legacy. We want to pass something down to our children that they can then build on and improve, and then also pass it on to their children. So it's as simple as that. And then another thing is, you might think that I grew up wanting to make jam. It's always been my dream. It's not the case. You know, we found ourselves in Ceres, and in Ceres you have all the best and beautiful fruit in South Africa. And then we found ourselves in the fruit value chain and the processing value chain. And Kristen is a food technologist. And then jam was just the product that tied in everything together at the right time and the right moment. Kristen with a scientific background, and us being in Ceres, knowing all the farmers, having access to the fruit. And that's how jam came about. And I also want to say that jam is only the start. Very soon, we're going to launch a range of products, which will include sauces. We're working on our tomato sauce, our chutneys, barbecue sauce, peri peri. We're also working on, here's something that I grew up with that I loved so much. We're working on bompies, and the bompies will come from the fruit from Ceres. And it's all going to be under our name. And then it ties back into that legacy. We want to
Wow.
leave behind a legacy for our children.
Wow. You know what? No, just listening to you now, you like two peas in the pod. Um, I like connecting with people, and the way you were speaking now, it's all inspiring. And Anifa, I just want to say, what jam we talking about? We're talking about Jacob's Jam, and that name you must get in the head. That Jacob's Jam. It moet net so in die kop en even as I whatever you put on your bread, whatever ever jam, they say X meer Jacob's Jam op my brood vandag. That must be in your head today. That's all we're doing, and you can win some Jacob's Jam also by liking and. Nigel will explain to you now. You can win also. We will mention it the whole way during the show if you want to win some good jam. New brand called Jacob's Jam Hassel. They were telling you, lekker, say Adrian. And Kim Lee says again, crash times, man. Jam or just before you leave for home or at school, blue ribbon, drop bread with jam. But wait, the Corsi was the best. You see, what you've mentioned now, Nigel, everything you mentioned, and I know it's more for survival and also because you are guys are go-getters and stuff like that. And you said it's not that you're passionate about jam, but you're passionate about growing and feeding your family and creating an empire. But with all that said, everything you touch is such authentic stuff. And you find yourself in die regte plek and you find yourself in serious, you find yourself behind authentic stuff. And people don't understand, of course, alles wat ons nou koop is so afgesny is not what we want to taste. It's and the way you speak, you put your passion behind it. Adrian Kearns came up something I said earlier, chokers and survivors. Yes, Nigel is selling the survivors. So for the choke up jam that they can survive. But yeah, so just getting into that also, and I want Stanley and Shan also to come in because we all have a memory of all these things. You mentioned bompies. You're talking out of our line now. Ek het gehalop dak shop toe, net om bompies, 'n lekker sappige bompie te koop. Now you don't even get lekker bompies at the shops anymore. The panelix bompies, the proper thick sauces. We had to drive to Hermanus and stuff like that. Even to what do you call it? gebouw for apples and stuff like that. People won't know why you get apples and stuff that side of the world. But just to get it from that side, these things won't pop up in your head if there's no childhood memory attached to it. So there must be, although your wife has been working in this industry, the experience is there. You've both got the experience. You've got the marketing knowledge. She's got the food and technology knowledge. You in the right area. But why did these things click to mind? There must be authenticity behind the Nigel. Ek wil weet wat het hy hard uitgekoor het. My bokkie, ons gaan sauce maak. Ons gaan jam maak. Ons gaan sauce maak. Ons gaan bompies maak. Bompies, no one talks about bompies. Jam sounds already like a market. But bompies, sy het my geslat tot sy gepraat het van bompies.
So we did a lot of research, and the research we did is research we did for big companies when we launched brands into the market. We worked for the biggest companies in South Africa. And when we did the research, we realized that there are only a few jam players in South Africa or brands. We all know who they are. There's basically two. And we looked at it. The jam category has been very stagnant for many years. Daar gaat niks aan nie. There's no excitement. There's no brands being built. The brands that are there has been around for 30 years. And we thought, can we be disruptive? Come ons disrupt the market. And we decided on jam because it looked interesting, it looked exciting. We all, like you mentioned, Biden, we all have that childhood memory of eating jam and coming home after school and there's hunger. And then you go buy you go make yourself a sandwich, coffee, tea, and we wanted to bring that back to the children of today because of today, I don't think they've got the word now, nasty.
We'll just lost Nigel for a second there. We'll just let him like fade in occasionally again. Stanley, om my vraag te vra vir jy, okay, I think Nigel's popping back up. We're getting some lekker comments there on the jam, and when you get into jam, and yes, Caroline says at the bottom, serious, my hometown, born and bred, ons mense. If you can pop it up, Stan, I can't read it. Baie swaar gekry, maar dit was lekker jare. All my family woon in Ceres, and you see, you in an authentic place, and I can see there's someone he's probably your ambassador. Sharon pops up Geldenhuis and she says, "Oh yes, Bouncy's videos inspire me to buy. Thank you for making him your brand ambassador. Love him, love your jam. Baie lekker." Because local is most lekker. It makes me think of Leon soos 'n proem so engel op my tong gepiepie het. You know. You remember those jokes. It's that authenticity that comes back. You're not going out there and getting someone some guy out there to put some ladi da. You're bringing it original, authentic. You're getting someone that can relate to your product. And that's also I want to get the question. And maybe if you do want to answer, why did you get the ambassador like that? What made you feel like you wanted to get an ambassador on? Because as you can see, people relate to him. And me, I can't speak for him, but I love it when people can relate to someone. And it's hard nowadays in the day and age we live in to attach your product just to someone, but you put your trust in the person, because you could relate to him maybe. And how did that work?
Well, but it also it goes back to we put our surname onto this jam, Jacobs, right? And we are authentic colored people from the Western Cape, from the Cape Flats. Christian is from Houston, which is close to Amanus. And we don't want to move away from that authenticity. We want to stay true to ourselves. And if you look at all the brands that's out on the market, it's either European or international, but there's very few brands that comes from our people, from the Cape Flats and from Cape Town and the Western Cape. So we want to stay authentic. And asseblief, kom soek vir my if we move away from that authenticity one day and we move into something that we're not supposed to be. Because myself and Christian, we told ourselves we're going to stay true to this. And that's where Bouncy came in. Bouncy is echt true, 100% colored, He's 100% our people. He relates to our people. He speaks the language. He makes us laugh, he makes us cry, he makes us feel so many emotions. And that's why we partnered with Bouncy and we said, Bouncy, kom ons vat hande and come we be a partnership. And that's how that partnership came about. So the one word that we want to use there is authentic, and we want to stay true to ourselves. And later on, I'm going to talk about something that we playing around with, and it's a marketing campaign where we say something like 10 reasons why you should buy Jacob's Jam. But I'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm already thinking of 50 reasons. I gaan my net 10 gee. I'm already thinking of 50.
Okay.
But ek wil van Shannon van Stanley, hey?
I'm going to give you one, Biden, and this is for the audience and the listeners and the viewers. One reason why you should buy Jacob's Jam, as jou van Jacobs is, dan moet jy Jacob's Jam koop. So there already a million customers.
Perfect. No, it's true.
Is een van hulle.
Yes.
Daai sou kan jy seker met my gesê, Byron, we need to kyk ja, ek nie eens my blikkie nie, sy moet Pieter Morris die. Ek het ook klaar kwaad. I need to get mine. Ek gaan myne koop. En Shan, kyk ook vir jou aan. Hoe sit jy met 'n blikkie jam en ons het dit?
I don't have it yet. I was actually hinting on my page that I need samples, but nobody's actually cottoned on to that one yet.
But yeah, man, ons clearing mense likes iets wat nie kry, but I'll really pay because the way you're talking also, that's also one thing we get out of us as mense. There's people that come around, especially in our community. Ag, kan jy net 'n sample gee of kan jy net daai gee nie? Can't you give that? And we know as being we colored people, yeah, we can speak frank about it. This is the difficulty we find in being entrepreneurs when we go out there. Daar's familie, hy verkoop jam, maar ek weet jy kan 'n afslag kry by hom and stuff like that. Do you know what my mother and my father always tell them? Ek charge familie double. Want jy moet eintlik maar met double support, Yeah. but without saying that you're a father, you have kids, and you must have had it hard finding and starting this business, going through many failures. As I would know, we all go through failures in life to find our feet and to build a success. Tell me about that story, Nigel. Yourself and your wife, it mustn't be easy. Mense sal hier sit en hulle sien net die sukses, so julle vorentoe bou. But how did you accomplish that and get across that pathway also, being a dad and a husband? All those things must be challenging also, having a business.
Yeah. So coming from corporate life, you are spoiled because you have all the benefits and the perks, and being colored, your mother always tells you, if you have medical aid, don't leave that job. You must stay there until you die because you've got medical aid. So that's what you have when you're working for a boss. And then now that we're working for ourselves, everything falls away because everything that you have goes back into the business. It's a long-term plan. So I always laugh about, when I was working for a boss, I had the latest cell phone, I had the latest everything. And if you look at my cell phone now, I have a Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is around 10 years old. And it's my sister's contract that was 3 or 4 times expired. It was her spare phone. But my phone gave in and I couldn't go to Vodacom and say I want a new contract. And that's part of the challenges of having your own business. We've got a baby. The baby is 2 years old and the business is 3 years old. So you can imagine that there were tough times, times when myself, the milk is running low, the nappies are running low. All those things falls away, and you have to just believe in it. You have to believe in a higher power. You've got to have faith. And then I can also say that luckily we still have our parents around, and they're not rich people. They're not living in mansions and traveling the world and all those things. They're normal people, colored people. And we can say that our parents really believe in our dream also. And every now and then they'll come in and they'll assist us with the small things. And it was almost difficult to explain to our parents that we're going to leave our top corporate jobs and we're going to start our own business. And it took them a while, but once they got on board, they can now see the whole thing, and it goes back to legacy. And they sometimes say that they wish they could have done that for us, but due to the circumstances, they could not. So, what I can say to budding entrepreneurs, thinking that it's easy, unfortunately, is not. It's incredibly difficult, and you have to be, you have to be very tough to survive this journey.
I take my hat off to you, and I think Stanley has a question, en ek weet as die mic sou afgaan, dan weet ek Stanley brand om iets te vra.
Nigel, I know. I just wanna agree with you there, and I wanna tell our people we must not want handouts. We must assist Nigel. We must sell this brand. I have white people and black people, friends of mine, that I said, Kegi, when you go shopping, you're gonna put Jacob Jam on top of your list. I got quite a few people to actually buy. One of my friends, he commented here, Linda, I said to her, you're gonna buy, and that's how we support you. I want to see you doing good. I want to see your business growing because it will be so amazing. It is already a cool story because now youngsters from Mitchells Plain, Lentegeur can see, but Nigel used to play here. Nigel went to this school. Nigel come from where we came from. There's no excuse for us. So Nigel is also like a Benny McCarthy that comes out of the Cape Flats, and that is exactly what I want to promote. I want our people to buy this jam, Jacob Jam, and you're gonna go from your house to Pick and Pay and buy some strange brand. Those money don't come to us. It doesn't come to our people. It doesn't build our legacies. But when you support Nigel, it will build another colored man's legacy. It will allow his children and generations to continue with the brand that was born on the Cape Flats. So well done, Nigel. Maybe Shan also want to maybe say something.
You know, okay, can I speak? Okay. So there's a couple of questions I have, right? So and it's the normal thing where the normal questions a lot of people will actually probably want to know. So for example, I see that's a 1.2 kg tub of jam, right? Does it come in smaller quantities? And then, okay, so I'm just lay out the few questions, okay? So does it come in smaller quantities? Because like 1.2 kgs for my family is too much, right? It will go, it will just stand in the fridge forever. And then the other thing is, what's the price point of this particular jam? And we're going to support it anyway, but I just want to know what's the price point of this jam compared to, for example, I don't know, I don't even know what the other jam brands are, like the ones that are on the shelves at the moment. And then also, when is it going to be available anywhere else other than Cape Town? Because right at the moment, you've got it in a lot of places in the Western Cape, but it's not actually, I'm in Joburg, so it's actually not available in Joburg.
Okay, so that's a good couple of questions. I'll try and remember them all. The first one is 1.2 kg. That is our big tub. But it's not our biggest tub. Our biggest tub is a 25 kilogram bucket of jam.
Good grief.
Ek dink hy gaan vir jou baie maande vashou in die fridge.
Lekker.
Baie jare. So
how fat do you want me to be?
Yeah, we do bulk jams as well, and bulk jammers for the feeding schemes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like hospitals, prisons. We always also laugh that when we started our company, so the very first people that tasted the jam was the prisoners in Paulsmoor, because that was one of our first customers. They bought the 25 kg buckets of jam from us. But back to your question around the consumer sizes. We
just lost Nigel there for a second again until he pops up. Just remember the last thing he was talking about from a consumer side. But I like what Donovan was saying. Donovan is say I would Nigel, we lost you on the consumer side. That was the last thing we heard. And then Donovan said, would rather spend 5,000 Rand on a local brand than 10 cents at Woolies. Ek agree met hom. I would rather also do that. Rather support my local liquor. But Nigel, he was saying from a consumer point of view. I think we've lost him again there. Stanley, if you could just remind him how they can win the hamper today.
You guys can win the hamper. There's a hamper giveaway. Before 10 o'clock, we're going to announce the winner. You guys need to like the page is Jacob's Jam. The link is in here. Let me just show you guys quickly. The link is here. You can click on the link, just like the page, and also share this live broadcast. Please support our brother. That's the link. Click on there, like the page, and you guys can win a hamper tonight. And also share this live broadcast. And this is the way we support our brother. This is the way how we build the brand. Build the brand. Shane, you wanted to ask another question? Who is Nigel back? Nigel, can you hear us?
I think you just have to kick Nigel off and so he can come back on again.
Okay, so from my perspective, right, I also obviously would want to support local brands, and that's obviously why why you and I are doing this, because it's important to support the local brands in our community. And obviously, I read a story one day that said, and I think Stan probably knows the same story, where these people were speaking about how you actually build wealth in a community. And they took the Jewish community as an example. And the gist of the story was that in the Jewish community, one person would always support another person in the same community, and that's how they keep the wealth in the community. And I mean, we all know the Jewish community is quite wealthy. So I think that's something that we can actually learn as a community, because we don't, we like breaking people down. We don't actually like building people up. But I think we're changing that. We're changing that perception, or we're trying very hard to, and to create a culture of actually supporting each other and buying from each other, whether you're buying a toffee apple or a bompie or a 25 kg of jam. But we need to actually learn to support each other. And I think it's important that is what the message that we get through to our people all the time. Even if Jacob's Jam, and I don't know the price point because I don't think Nigel is back yet, but let's say that the cool brand is, I don't know, 20 Rand. And Jacob's is 25 Rand. Spend the extra 5 Rand. I mean, to support somebody that actually is building a brand in our community, rather than, looking at somebody else that has actually been in the business for 30 years. I mean, they can afford to give you the discounts, but this is where we come in. We actually help the person get to that point.
Love that. I love that. Nigel's Sharon made some valid points there. Why she was asking about the price points, because she was getting to a point where she said, despite something, a cool jam brand being 20 Rand and yours might be 25 Rand, rather spend that extra, because we then showing our community and our local brands that we do endorse your value, and we appreciate the value that you're bringing to the customer also. So that's how we build, create business. We create wealth in our own communities also. So that's a good point. I don't know if you had a question again.
Sorry, I couldn't hear anything. I only got that 20 Rand.
No, I said. Okay, so I think there's a back.
Okay, try again quickly. Byron,
Okay, Stanley, just put your mic on mute quickly, slightly. On Nigel's mic, I think. So what I said is, Sharon made a very valid point. Why she asked that question, she basically said that even though, if correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, I don't want to. Not saying it verbatim how you said it, but even though a cool brand of jam is charging 25 Rand, she would 20 Rand and you charge 25 Rand. Rather support local, because look what the Jewish, the Indians and those do, and even Somalians, they stick together and they build wealth around each other. And we as a community, in the colored community, and people, unfortunately, we have to call ourselves as such. We need to generate wealth between our community also by supporting our local brands in our community. That will then generate wealth in the community and create more jobs and also inspire others, if that's what you were trying to say, Shan, also.
Okay. So I got most of that now. So what I can say on that is, first of all, our jam is kosher certified. So we can sell to the Jewish people as well. We also are halal certified. So we cover both that certification. And then when it comes to price, so we've got a premium product. Inside the product is premium. When you taste it, when you spread it, when you eat it, it's premium. The packaging is premium. But we were able to keep the price point very close to the most popular brands, right? So it's not that much more expensive than the most popular brand. we're talking about 1 rand or 2 rand more expensive. So if the brand is 20 rand, we would be 21 rand or 22 rand. But our factory has the capacity to push out large volumes, and the more we sell, the lower we can bring that price point. So then we don't have high overheads like the big companies, high paying executives, glass, ivory towers in Sandton and in the waterfront. Our office is our factory. We keep our overheads very low. And if we do this thing properly, push out enough product into the market, we get enough people to buy the product, and then 1, 2, 3, before you know it, we can be more affordable. I'm not going to use the word cheap because it's not cheap. It's high quality, it's premium, but it's going to be more affordable than the current brands that's out there. And the current brands that's out there, I can honestly say it doesn't give you that feeling of premium. It's basically, daar's jam, sit it op jou brood, be happy. And we're not about that. We're building a brand. We're building a lifestyle. We're building something that people want to be part of. And you can have it at an affordable price. So I said a lot around pricing now, but it's as straightforward as that. We've got a very big factory in Ceres. If we can sell everything that we can make, we can bring the price down and it can become more affordable.
I like using the words where I like to tell people when I go on a product, it's high value that's inexpensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shan was waving because I think she's got a point to bring across there on that side.
Okay, am I unmuted? Okay, so I totally am okay with any premium brand, and especially in our communities, this premium brand being, I mean, 2 rand is actually quite a low difference. It's a very small margin between a brand that has been around for 30 years and that actually has a huge footprint in the market already, and then a brand new product. So that's the first thing. I actually think you've done really, really well keeping that down. But then the other thing I wanted to ask, right? How many people actually work for you at the moment?
Okay, so we started out just myself and Kristen. We started cooking jam in our kitchen. So it was upscaling from the kitchen to a factory. And when we opened up the factory, it was still just myself and Kristen. And we got one extra person. So now you've got this big factory with lots of stainless steel and tanks and fillers and conveyor belts. And we couldn't afford to employ people. We could only afford to employ one person. So we were running all over the place. Kristen was carrying 25-kilogram bags of sugar up and down stairs to put into the pots to cook the jam and to make the jam. That was only around 8 months ago. We are now employing 8 extra people. So we are a complement of 10 people total or together,
Wow.
altogether. And then I don't want to stop there because we can still employ another 20 people if we can get the volumes up. So we're running on a 8-hour shift, Monday to Friday. And how we get it to 30 people in our own factory is we run 24 hours and we run over weekends. And the way of putting it into context is you've got 3 shifts, 1 shift day, 1 shift night, and 1 shift resting. So there's that type of alternating, and then you can have 30 people working in our factory. And then I also don't want to stop there because what we call the residual job effect is enormous, because now we've got more people picking fruit from the farms. We've got more trucks on the road. We've got more people making packaging. So the snowball effect is it's not going to create 30 jobs. It's probably going to create around 1,000 jobs in the full value chain. Just by our jam factory, people supporting us, buying our jams, 1,000 jobs easily.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And job creation is important. Shan, you can go ahead again.
Actually, I just want to say congratulations. I think the mere fact that you are already employing more people in Ceres, and I mean, in all honesty, the smaller places like Ceres and, like the smaller towns, those 10 jobs make a huge difference to that economy. So you're right. The value chain is incredible as well. I mean, even if you take it from the fact that from your factory, now that you've gotten it into those, I've never heard of the places that you've actually got that you're stocking in at the moment. So to me already, you've you've obviously marketed these places indirectly, because I have never ever heard of that place. But okay, I don't come from Cape Town, but nevertheless, we'll just go with that. So if you actually look at what you're doing, I mean, I don't know, I'm hugely impressed. And I saw it on Stan's page, and then I asked Stan for the video so that I could actually promote it on my page as well.
Thank you.
But if okay, so the one thing that other people are going to ask you, and that's, I'm also a mom, so I'm probably one of those other people I'm speaking about right now, is what's your personal favorite, and then how many different variants do you have? So you have strawberry, I assume you have apricot or whatever. So which ones do you have, and then what is your favorite?
Okay. So I just want to go back, if you don't mind, to the job creation part of our business. And we've been working in Ceres now. We were working for 6 years before we started our own business at the biggest factories and the biggest corporate companies in the town. Now, the town is very small. There's around 30,000 people that live in the greater Ceres area. And most of the people that live in the town works either for the factories or the farms or the municipality. And what we realized coming from the big companies is that the people that work in the companies, when they start out, they're either a fruit picker or a fruit packer or a forklift driver or a cleaner. Those are the jobs for our people, right? And then fast forward 30 years, when they retire, then the company would have a massive long service award ceremony to send the person off. And then I was one of the managers that read a list of names of 10 people, maybe at the time. This person is retiring. He started in 1965, for example. That's now 2017. He started out as a forklift driver, and guess what? He's still a forklift driver. 30, 40 years later, he's still there where he started. And when we started this business, we thought to ourselves, we want to empower these people. Start as a forklift driver and write your own name on the wall in this company. Where do you want to be one day? We've got a mandate that we're trying to employ only young people, so youth, and mostly female. And if you are 21 years old, we would give you an opportunity to come and work there by us. But it's up to you where you want to end off. Do you want to start as a cleaner and end off as a cleaner? Or do you want to start off as a cleaner and end off as a sales manager or a food technologist or whatever you want to call it? So that is something that we're trying to rectify in this town. We want to break that culture of you start out as a cleaner and you end off as a cleaner. So I just had to get that off my chest, because that is something that's very, very important to myself and Kristen.
Do you know what you mentioned? A lot of things now that needs to happen from leadership in this country. See, and it starts from grassroots level where you guys are trying to do this. This is why it's so important, as we've been reiterating in the show, so that you need to support local brands, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs like yourself that's trying to create jobs. And as Kim said at the bottom, that is the sad reality what goes on in Ceres, and a lot of people won't know that. And laat ek maar sê, moenie sê part of Cape Town, nie part of Western Cape. You know, the people of Ceres and Club Mitsy, julle noem alles Cape Town. So let me say part of Western Cape, so people can understand how big the Western Cape is and how many problems there is also in the Western Cape. And you one of those trying to solve it also. Stanley, I don't know if you had another question, but just to repeat also to the audience also how they could win, Nigel, the hamper still on the show before we end going forward.
Hey, awesome. Yes, you need to, if you want to win a hamper. So, the jam is lekker. Kyk eens jy wil dit wen. So, you need to share this live stream. Like the page, you must go to the page. Let me just show you quickly. The link is in here. Just go here quickly. Here we go. I'm going to show you now where the link is. There's the link, right? Go like the page. Share this live stream. And you can comment somewhere, Cape Fleet Stories. And you know, just comment our name somewhere as you say this, and we will select a winner at 10 o'clock. And I promise you, I had the opportunity to eat some of the strawberry jam. I mixed it. I actually mixed it with the peanut butter and a brew liquor. So guys, please. And the nice thing about this whole thing is, Nigel is employing people in a time like this. Our country was just nominated as the country with the highest unemployment rate. Here you have a gentleman from the Cape Flats with love that can create jobs for many other people. So I want you
Exactly.
guys to buy this brand, to invest in this brand. I promise you, my ma het ook nou die jam because ek is Jacobs, my ma is Jacobs, my broer is Jacobs, and ons is about 10 Jacobs in our family, and I actually encourage my family actually to buy it. So I want to encourage you also to support Nigel. You know, in a time like this, ons can buy it and op die government blame, right? But we need to blame ourselves if we don't support our own brothers. We need to support our own brother and sister, and that way they can also grow and employ more people. 1,000 people. Just think about that. 1,000 people by their company.
And if you could just leave that link on just to remind them, we're coming close to 10 o'clock. So mense gaan sê, you didn't remind us. En ek is eintlik 'n bietjie jaloes dat jy nou jam alleen op die brood gesit het en ek het nou nie gehoor nie. I had to eat peanut butter bread, no survivors. But it's okay. Now I know where I can go order. I know the guy directly now. Ek hoef nie meer saam Stanley te praat nie. Ek gaan self vir Nigel contact. I don't need to contact Stanley anymore with the Jacobs Jam. But as Stanley was saying earlier, just like and share that, and just comment on the comments section. Maybe just shared and Cape Flat stories, or just shared. That's also okay, I would think. We're gonna go through the comments. Nigel will pick up the winner because I think you can see the comments, right, Nigel?
No, I can't see the comments on this stream. I can check that on Facebook. But I'll have a look.
Okay.
Just I want to get back to Shan's question about our flavors very quickly. We've got apricot. That is the #1 selling jam in South Africa. It's everyone's favorite. Everybody grew up with it. It's in every household, whether you are rich or poor, or it's apricot. And then we also have strawberry. And strawberry is, let's call it the luxury flavor for the uppities. So also very popular flavor. And we launched those two as our anchor high volume flavors. But then we also have pomegranate jam. And it's never been done before in the world. We're the first people to have successfully jammed pomegranate. And it happened by accident. Kristen was making apricot jam. She ran out of apricots. And she only had pomegranate. And she said she's going to give it a try. I wasn't very optimistic. I said it's not going to work. And she said she's going to do it anyway because the kitchen is already now dirty because she was making jam. And then 1, 2, 3, it worked out well. It was successful. And the world's first pomegranate jam came about. And that is also, it's an increasingly popular flavor. Firstly, because it's never been done before. And secondly, everybody loves pomegranate. There's nothing better than a pomegranate fruit. And so now you can have it in jam, you can have it on scones, you can have it on bread, you can have it with cheese. And those are the 3 flavors that we launched with: apricot, strawberry, and pomegranate.
Okay, so I'm totally impressed. I'm gonna speak to Stan tomorrow, and then I'm gonna send him money, okay? And then he needs to go and buy pomegranate and the strawberry and the apricot, and he needs to courier it through to me. So
Okay.
I like the idea of you having been the first, or you making the first pomegranate. That's like such a signature thing, and I love signature. For me, a brand always needs to have a signature, and that's awesome. I'm also a marketing manager, by the way. So the other thing I wanted to point out to you, right?
We had a friend that also mentioned earlier while my internet was buffering that he's going to spend 5,000 Rand on jam. He's welcome to send us also a check and we'll courier the jam to him. Because he said he'll spend 5,000 Rand instead of 5 Rand for the normal brands. Can we get
We have that recorded.
Nigel, that's something very important you said now, because couriering also, how does that include into your prices also, the bulk and so forth? Because a lot of people would love to support across South Africa, probably most likely, because I'm sure Shan's got a lot of people on her page. Stanley's got a lot of people that's not even in Cape Town or like the Western Cape, especially like Shan. She's in Joburg. They want to know how it inflict them the courier prices and all those things also. Do you take that in account?
We have a partnership with a courier company in Ceres. It's a big courier company. It's called the Courier Guys. And they charge us 100 Rand for a courier package anywhere in South Africa, whether it's 300 grams or 15 kilograms. So the flat rate is 100 Rand. So if you want to buy 1 tub of jam and we courier it to somewhere in South Africa, it will be extra 100 Rand for courier cost. Or if you want to buy 15 kilograms and give to your friends and your family, the courier cost will remain 100 Rand.
Okay, so
That's actually a good
for
price.
yeah, no, the courier guys, they're amazing. So what I would actually then say to anybody that's from my page that's actually listening, because I'm going to leave this on my page tomorrow as well, is that if you're in Joburg and you want to taste some of this jam, because like I promote the sister guys as well, so let's promote the jam guys as well. So if you want to, I'm going to order anyway, and then if you want, let me know, and then we order, and then we just get the courier. We test this whole theory of the courier guys actually charging us only 100 Rand. I'll pay the courier costs.
So my cell number, Stanley can share it on the page. My cell number is also on every tub of jam, so I'm easily accessible. And WhatsApp works very well. You just send me a WhatsApp. I'll send you an invoice. We'll courier up the product, and I think it's delivered overnight or next day delivery for 100 Rand.
I think that's another sales point you do, because you're a good-looking guy to say in over in Macy's op Colored Girls Rock. My cell number is also on the jam. Ek weet jou vrou moenie nie moeilik uitkom nie, want dan kry jy 'n klomp WhatsApp messages. So I'm just reminding you.
Byron, you are putting me into a jam now.
Besides that, Byron, we leave the married guys alone. Don't be like that. So, Nigel, the other thing I wanted to point out to you is when you were saying earlier that you now employ 10 people, I wanted to point this out to you so that you actually understand what you actually do. You don't just employ 10 people, you're feeding 10 families.
Exactly.
So basically, if you have an average of 4 people in a family, you literally are responsible now for 40 people other than your own family.
Thank you.
Oh,
Sometimes, we think at night and we hope that we can increase that number. And the only way that we can increase that number is by people buying our jam, taking more volume, us making more volume, and our company grows and our staff complement grows. Byron, can I come in with another reason why you should buy Jacobs Jam?
Yes, all those reasons I wanted.
No, I just want to throw one more out there. I don't know how much time we have left, but if you're standing in the jam aisle and you used to go to Club Galaxy or Vibe or Was Up in the northern suburbs or Images, all those clubs from the late 90s, early 2000s, if you went to those clubs, you should be buying Jacobs Jam, because we also went to those clubs. It's our people. We went to the same places. So that's another reason why you should be buying Jacobs Jam.
And another reason is we went to the Fat Jam. The Fat Jam. You remember those days?
Byron, I stood in that line every year for 5 years. I never made it inside. I was always just outside in the line, because coming from Mitchells Plain, it's long to Plumstead. What is it? The 3 odds. And then the taxi breaks down halfway through the journey. And by the time you get there, there's a line. So yeah, we never made it, but we were always at the Club Vibe matinees. That was our place.
That just shows guys are giving ages away, Stanley, when they talk like that. But you know what I think, before you give a winner away, you guys are gonna do your shaker up there, and I know you got someone doing your shake up to give a winner away, but it was really a pleasure for me to chat with you. And I know we didn't go into this details that I like it when you get to know the person, and Shan has brought up some valuable points, en hy sê kom ek gee ons maar as 'n vrou mense in die lewe, hulle bring iets wat ons kan opbring en wat ons kan onthou nie. So yeah, from my point of view, man, you are doing phenomenally. Just not what Shan has mentioned everything I couldn't have mentioned, which is creating jobs for families. Even if you have 10 people working for you, that's 10 families being fed, having food on the table. You know how big that is. You know, you're creating wealth in people's households, no matter how big, no matter how small. This is why I will continue to support people like you. And I thank Stanley and Shan for giving their pages up. And they repeat it so many times. It's to help people. People might think people monetize out of stuff like this, but this is all authenticity. This is all to see. We see you inspiring people, so why can't we use you as a vehicle to move forward to inspire people more, you know? So I want to thank you. Ek weet niemand van my mense werk vir jou nie, but it feels like my family is being fed when you create jobs for people, because that means there's opportunities coming after that. So Nigel, from my side, I say thank you before you announce the winner. Shannon Stanley probably wants to say something, but that's all I'm going to say. I'm in a way of you, and I just want your company to grow from strength to strength. I will mention it. It will be in my mouth, in my vocabulary. When I jams in, I say it's a Jacobs Peru. That's what I'm going to say.
Stan.
There we go.
So, Stan, so I think you've got a large following and I've got a large following, right? Let's start, I think, for this weekend, maybe on Saturday, let's get our people to bake bread, right? But when they're done baking, you know, my favorite memory of jam, right, is my grandmother baking fresh bread, and then, you know, you've got the butter that melts in the bread, and then you've got jam, obviously. So maybe we should start a challenge or something like that, and people have to actually show us the Jacobs, you know, like the tub, so that then we can actually have a little bit of a challenge on our pages and see. Okay, I'm actually maybe I should challenge your page, because, you know, quite frankly, I have a big following. You have a big following. Let's see how many people can buy jam.
That's lekker.
I like that. Yes, I can definitely. Let's buy into this. And I think people can send us pictures. Let them send us pictures of them standing with the pot of jam and the basin. Take a photo, send it to us, and we start that type of challenge. And that way we can promote Nigel's business. Hy is mos een van ons mense.
Thank you.
100%.
Yeah, thank you, Shan. Thank you, Shan. And if they can just, while they're baking the bread, they can also like our page and follow us, because there's going to be a lot of exciting news coming their way. And social media is incredibly powerful. We're not of the means to be advertising on TV or radio, so we do all of our advertising on social media, and it's been fantastic up until now. So the more people we have on our page, the more giveaways we can do, the more interactions we can have with our consumers, and we use that platform instead of going the traditional ways.
100%. Well, I must say, like, from my side, you know what, I've been blown away, and yes, I've asked you some crazy questions, but those are probably the questions that, you know, that from the female perspective, the shoppers, that, you know, those are the things that we would probably want to know. But yeah, I'm totally impressed. I'm totally sold, and I am definitely going to order my jam tomorrow.
Thank you, Shan. Can I say something to end off?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I want to leave. Thank you all. Thank you for this chat, and thank you for this platform. It's been fantastic exposure for us. And the one thing I want to mention to the viewers and the listeners is that Stanley approached us and said that he wants to help, you know. And as a business, we always asking people to help us. We're always begging people, support us, help us with this. And you know, now it's becoming easier because people like Stanley is approaching us out of their own. They're not getting paid for it. They're not getting free jam. They're getting nothing out of it. And if we can all just stand together like that as a community, as a people, then we will see that our own companies and our brothers and sisters and our community will thrive. You know, like you mentioned previously, of the other communities in South Africa that stand together, we as colored people should also stand together. And before that, you know, before long, you will realize that the biggest companies will be born out of colored people. Myself and Christian always say that the next big food company must still be born in South Africa, and it will be colored. We've got all the existing big food companies. They've been around for 100 years. There hasn't been a big food company coming out in the last 20 odd years. And we, Jacobs Jam or Jacobs Food Company, we want to be that company. But we can only do it with the buy-in of our community, the people that we grew up with, the people that we lived with, our friends, our family, the people that share the same surname as us. They're the people that will make our dreams a reality. Now, I just want to end off with that.
Wait, before you end off, I actually just wanted to find out, right? Okay, so, you know, they're probably going to turn around and say the girls always talk too much, right? It's okay. So what I actually wanted to find out, you've just said something now. You said Jacobs Food Company as opposed to just Jacobs Jam Company. Do you do you have plans on actually expanding the brand?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use one example for a company that I used to work for. Is called Pioneer Foods. So they've got a basket of products. They've got bread, they've got jams, they've got juice, they've got chicken, they've got the whole shopping basket under one group. Another food group is maybe Tiger Brands, and they also have a different basket of similar products. And our dream is that we're starting our business in jam, but we're going to expand on it into other product types. And the company is already registered. It's called the Jacobs Food Group. And from that, there will be the sauces that I mentioned. We're talking about baby food, and we're talking about juices, and of course the bompies. And the key ingredient that's centered around all those products is fruit. So we want to stay true to ourselves. We live in Ceres, our factory is in Ceres, we're close to the fruit. And we're going to give birth to many different product types. And fruit is going to be the key ingredient in all of those product types. So definitely a food group is on the way, and jam is just the start.
Love it. It made me think now of Bokomo, how it started. Bokomo went into Pioneer Foods and Dunes. My grandpa used to work day in, day out on that bread truck in Dunes. We have a heritage in the food as colored people. We have a heritage in that businesses. He was a baker in Dunes and stuff. But before we go ahead, I don't know if you can see the private chat on that side. I see there was a wheel spin on the private chat with name spinning on that side in the private chat. So it's now for you to pop up at name, Nigel. Like iemand kan sê ek gaan nou 'n lekker jam kry.
I can't see the private chat. You must remember also sincerus. Was it old technology, spinning wheels and sidebars, and we're barely surviving here with the internet connection. So Stanley,
Can I ask? I'm gonna ask the lady, because whenever a lady does something, it has integrity. So Shan, I'm gonna ask you in the private chat. There's names there. You can say
there's names there. We're gonna spin it. Wait, let me just spin it, Shan. Let me just spin those names first and let it pop up, and you can read it out. Voila, ek is skelm. So yeah, there I click the spin button, Shan. You go on and you click the stop, and you give it.
Wait, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Wait, I'm in private chat. It's nothing.
So it's only myself and Stan that sees it. Next to comments, and then there's private chat.
No, I can see private chat, but I can't see no wheel spinning, no nix.
No, but there's names there. There's names in there.
Oh, okay. These three. Oh, the four names that you. Oh, the three names that you've got there. Guys, I'm gonna choose the girl. Is it fair?
No, you have to be fair. There's
okay.
Go on.
Okay, I have to be fair.
Choose
Okay,
it, man. Joking. Choose it.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna choose the girl. Okay, so I'm gonna choose the lady because, we're the ones that do all the shopping. Okay, so obviously, if she actually gets the jam, she'll actually do a better job promoting it. Sorry, guys, I know I'm being really, really horrible now, but you know what? You'll take me on about it later, okay? But yeah, but now also, I like her because she and I have the same name, and it's not me. I'm actually buying my jam tomorrow. So yeah. So I'm gonna say I chose Chantal Shanty Kings to win the hamper, guys.
Well done, Chantal's Shanty Kings. If you could just pop it up, Stanley. Maybe if you have, there's it. That's the winner. So sy's gelukkig. She's winning that jam. Give the man a chance, Rafik said. Rafik, it's done. The name was Sam.
So Byron, if I can just come in here, because baie voorbarig vandag, but that's the only way we survive. We have to be voorbarig.
Exactly.
Can I say that I see the other names as Daryl Humphreys and Craig Stanley. We're going to give them a consolation prize of a smaller jam hamper, and we're going to courier to them as well.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sweet. Look how sweet you are.
So much.
Pop up that name, Stanley. The consolation prize and the Chantal's name also, so they can know those are the people getting the consolation jam, and Chantal karaoke the jam. And because my name
Byron, I first want to see if they like our page and I'm gonna dig very deep. I'm gonna go FBI on them. I'm gonna see if their family and their family's family also like our page.
Okay. I just liked it now. Maar meneer Warren, ek gaan nog my jam betaal.
Okay.
Byron and Stan, can you please just put it out there? Nigel is so sweet, so say jam.
Oh.
You guys,
Don't do that.
need to learn.
So
Don't do that.
sweet.
Everybody's got his cell phone number and ek weet it's van colored gold. This is normally Shan's midnight dark talk topic and nou het hy nog
Hi.
Nigel se nommer.
Who was in sewer?
Nigel is so sweet like his jam. Does it, Nigel?
Nice. Thank you so much.
Okay. But guys, it was lekker
You
chat.
must also, sorry, last thing, Byron, you must mention where we can buy the viewers can buy the jam, please.
Yes.
We are available at all the Vis Fabriek outlet stores. Now, if you don't know a Vis Fabriek, it's basically a factory shop, low cost seafood, fish products, chicken products, frozen products. And they've also been very good to us by supplying or supporting us by selling our jams. And there's 43 stores in the Western Cape, so they're all over. Every neighborhood basically has a Vis Fabriek. Then we are also at the Giant Hyper store in Cape Gate. That's our biggest outlet. So you'll get all the flavors, all the pack sizes, all the variants at any given time. And also, I can say the best price as well. So between Vis Fabriek and Giant Hyper, you guarantee to get a good deal. Then we are also at a whole lot of Spar supermarkets all over the Western Cape. And then also OK stores, a large number of OK stores. And we did a count the other day. We're in more than 400 stores in the Western Cape already. But we need to get that number up. We need to be in 4,000 stores.
Wow.
Yeah, you also need to be in Joburg.
Yeah, that's a topic for another day, because that's an hour-long topic about how difficult it is for small businesses to get into retail companies, big retail companies in South Africa. You know, the likes of ShopRite, Spar, Pick n Pay, Woolworths. It's very difficult, but that's maybe another 1 hour-long conversation we can have another time.
Nice.
Yeah, because when you have a conversation with the three of us, it's never just an hour.
And that reminds me, Friday I'm braaiing with some apricot jam on that fish. So that's the way to go. Stanley het nie vir my gegee nie, so ek gaan nie deel nie. I'm just going to eat my own jam up.
Firstly, you're bragging that you actually can braai in this economy. First, you also
no, I can't. I can braai with the Jacob jam prices.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but you know you're gonna go buy snoek now, nah? You have to make it snoek.
Ons man ons man net kyk wat gebeur. Ons weet nie waarvan die snoekie, maar ek sê dit hy moet kom.
Alhamdulillah.
Ek sien nog 'n snoek braai vir Heritage Day. I'm gonna braai 'n snoek with Jacob jam. I think that is gonna be a challenge.
Sandy, you're touching on something now. We haven't given it a lot of thought. But I think we should make a nice competition for Heritage Day with a heritage brand, Jacob's Jam, from our people. You know,
Yes.
And I sometimes get upset when people call it National Braai Day, because it's not. It's Heritage Day. So we need to bring it back to heritage. So right as level braai, but call it what it is.
100. I agree. Totally agree.
Guys, it was amazing. Nigel, you were amazing. Shan, thank you also for getting the right info out. Sometimes the 2 months in the guy help. Stanley, as always, you are so amazing for also putting yourself out there with everybody. So I just want to say again, thank you from my side, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I just asked me to just show the jam again. That is the jam. It looks like that. Jacob jam. Guys, you sit now where you can find it at the Vis Fabriek and some of the OK stores. Julle wil die jam hê, as lekker.
Bye, dankie. Bye, dankie,
Alright,
almal.
guys.
And have a nice
Thank you so
evening.
much.
You
Keep
too.
well. Nice to
You
chat.
Bye, Nigel.
Bye.
Thank you. It was so
Bye.
nice meeting you.
Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nigel with us. I'm just gonna do that. Nigel came to come visit us and talk about his brand, the Jacob's Jam. There's 3 flavors. My favorite one at the moment is strawberry. I'm still going through the other 2. So you guys want to support, guys, please. It's one of our people, and we must support our own. So please do support Nigel's brand. I hope one of these days Pick n Pay are listening and maybe they can also store it in the stores. It will be nice because ek is nou op die gat van ander brands koop. Ek wil my eie mense so goed te koop. I want to support my own people, you know. And I'm not being paid to say this because I know it's difficult for our people, you know, out there, and we need to support our own. They need to make millions so that they can put back into the Cape Flats, and that way we can create more jobs and build more schools and things like that. So thank you very much, everybody that watched. It was amazing. Thank you for your support, and yeah, keep safe, people. Love you guys.